So he had something over his head, and they dragged him, you know, right in front of my cell, you know, and then a whole bunch of, about 5 or 6 more, besides the 2 that were carrying, and went and followed them all into the cell that I was in originally. And they were in there, they were in that cell with him for like 15 minutes, man. It had to have been. I woke up at like, within 5 minutes after 5. As soon as I stood up, they moved me outside, and then they put me in that other cell. So they must have brought him in about maybe 10 after 5. Maybe 10 after 5, and I was out of there by 5:30, and those cops were in there the whole time until the last 5 minutes to let me out. So it had to be there, had to been in there about 15 minutes, and I could hear, you know, the muffled sounds of a struggle going on. You know, I've heard it before. You know, it was just, you know, he wasn't yelling anymore. You know, he wasn't saying much. He was just mumbling. I could hear the mumbling and the struggling. And there was a lot of thumping, a lot of moaning. You know, like you know, like ow, ow, ow. You know, not saying ow, but like you know, like they had him in such a way that he couldn't talk, but he was still trying to make noise, you know. And then first a couple cops came out, and they were all sweaty, and then a couple more came out, and then just as soon as the last 2 came out, it was about 25 after 5, and as soon as the last 2 came out, I didn't hear anything else going on in the cell. I thought maybe he was asleep or something. When I heard the next day that he, you know, he died at the same time I was in there, you know, or they're saying within 2 hours or whatever, you know, it's like, you know, it's like hindsight's 20/20. Like, oh, well, that explains why I didn't hear anything coming out of him. You know, when you throw somebody in a jail cell and you're beating on them, I know, I've had it done before, right? You're beating on them. When they're done, they let the handcuffs go and they go. If you're all right, you're still screaming at them. You know, you say, you scream, you know. But that's the shocking thing was hearing the next day that, you know, that he died in custody, and I was thinking, wow. You know, I heard him making noise and, you know, flopping around, and then when they were done, there was no noise. There was no noise, you know.